And we're like, forget it. We're just going to sit here and drink. And then we're like pounding back margaritas. And then I'm like 4 margaritas in. And then marketing girls at the time, she's like, all right, you ready to do your pitch? I'm like, what? I thought we called it. She's like, no, you're up. You got to do the corporate pitch. I'm like, all right.
Wow.
4 margs in, did the corporate pitch. I'm like, pretty sure it went well.
He can do it in his sleep. I'm telling you.
You're still gainfully employed, so it couldn't have gone that bad.
Hello, my friends.
Thank you for joining us for the PEBCAK Podcast, a weekly information security show featuring some all-around good people. It is week 3 of 2026. I'm Chris Louie, and a very happy anniversary to my wife. With me, we have my co-host, the Cloud God, who regrets switching wireless carriers to Verizon.
So I don't regret it. I have no idea what the context is. And yeah, happy 5-year anniversary to you guys.
What do you mean you did? Did you not work yesterday? Did you not try to have a conversation, or did you just not use your cellular device at all yesterday?
No issues in Arizona. And real quick, I have a joke here that I'm trying to do, guys. Happy 5 years to you, Chris. And Chris, then you tell me how many years you've actually been married?
15.
Yeah, 5 happy years, but married 15.
5 happy years.
Yeah.
That's wrong. That is wrong.
That's so wrong. Just kidding, Grace. He loves you.
He loves you.
But no, honestly, I didn't have any issues with Verizon at all. I didn't know there was an issue.
That's good. My wife went out to lunch with somebody yesterday, and she said, yeah, my phone's not working for some reason.
Sancho's in the house. Sancho's like the side piece, if you guys didn't know.
Yeah, I gathered that context, right. And we might have Glenn Medina, who probably is eating his body weight in chicken adobo right now. He said he'll show up. We'll see if he shows up. Who knows?
Chicken adobo.
Our guest this week is the 4th unofficial co-host, Ben Coral, who can't feel his back right now. So thank you for pushing through that and joining the show, Ben.
Hey, I can feel something. I'm here.
Yeah. Can't believe they amputated your spine. It's amazing.
When you don't have one, because I have been married for 26 years. So, I gave that up a long time ago. I don't talk back. That's not true.
Words of wisdom. Has it really been 26 years?
It has.
Damn.
Well,
congratulations.
26 and a half.
I mean, that's amazing considering you are a former U.S. Marine. I mean, I don't know, unless I'm wrong. I hate the stereotype, but like, do Marines make good husbands?
No. She is very understanding and forgiving.
There you go. Okay.
That's good. It's a compensating control then.
Yeah. Grace abounds.
Combined, we still have decades of information security experience here, not just to educate, but to entertain. We've got 4 awesome stories for you this week, so sit back, relax, and enjoy a nice glass of customer wine. This week, we're going to talk about Go Flock Yourself.
Whoa, no, you flock yourself, man.
Apple finally fixes Siri. For our third topic, Who Watches the Watchmen? And close with petty boycott talk.
What they really need to do is fix Teams. That would be more amazing. I know it's not Apple, but like if we were to talk about stuff that really needs to get fixed, it's all Microsoft products.
Yeah, it's what they're 30% or more of their code is AI generated now, and it shows.
And it shows.
I installed Office. It took a terabyte of space, and it's cloud-based.
Wow.
So I'm kidding. Can you imagine?
Well,
Wouldn't be surprised.
That goes back to that joke of why does Excel take so long when they had the flight simulator coded into Excel, and it took 45 seconds to load. You're like, why does this take so? Because somebody had coded that in there.
Nice little Easter egg.
Man, I miss the good old days finding Easter eggs.
Yeah, we had proper Easter eggs. Now everything is serious.
I wonder if we should.
On. I mean, you can start talking to Alexa and give your Harry Potter jargon and find out what Easter eggs are there.
I know there's an Easter egg for Pokemon. Like you can actually, if you're like logged in on Google and you search for them, like it will pop up, and then you can try to capture all, I don't know, million.
We tried that.
500.
I tried that. It didn't work.
No?
Was it an old wives' tale?
No, I think it might have been like a regional thing because it didn't work for me. Like people were reporting that it worked, but I
Chris, where the hell's your headphones at?
Oh, that's right. I'm probably getting a feedback.
Oh, what are you new? Look at this guy. Oh, Glenn 2.0. Jeez.
See, you called me out on it last time, so I'm glad it's not just me.
Yeah.
Alrighty. At least we caught it before we dived into the topics.
Yeah. You're welcome. We're here for you.
Yep, indeed. All right, for our first topic, we got a wild story about how a major surveillance company and some careless police departments accidentally exposed millions of driving records. Flock Safety makes AI-powered license plate reader cameras. These automatic plate readers, or APLs, are everywhere. There are at least a dozen of them in my town here. They read license plates and alert law enforcement if a stolen vehicle drives by or someone that's got open warrants. Flock keeps audit logs of searches run by law enforcement, and since they are public agencies, they're subject to Freedom of Information Act requests, or FOIAs. Approximately 2.3 million records have been released publicly, and because some law enforcement agencies did not redact the very personal information, the license plate numbers from the FOIA request, someone clever enough set up the website Have I Been Flocked to see if law enforcement has ever searched your license plate number, at least according to the public records available. I checked my cars and neither of them show up, but I have a feeling that the license plate cloud god might have been flagged by multiple agencies.
So I did check, and in Arizona we only have 7 characters, so it's cloud good, I guess, GD. But it was definitely not in there, which is total BS because we have so many of these everywhere. And I am, like the other day, I figured out that whole advanced track thing and turning that off, and like my V6 Bronco pills out now, right? Like it is stupid. And the same thing with the F-150, and just going into intersections and just turning. I'm just like, just doing donuts, just blown, like this smoke everywhere, just burnouts, and then just going about my merry day. It is insane. So I guarantee you, there's got to be some of my my license plates that are on there for sure.
Oh, it's been uploaded to YouTube, all of this stuff that's there. And that's the thing, is I understand some of the benefits. And I like how when a bolo is out there, it can help identify. I like being able to read
Bins for big government
plates.
terrorists.
Hey, but Amber Alerts, things like that. I mean, how do we make sure that we protect children and utilize everything that we can to save a child who has been, snagged or whatever? But just because we can doesn't mean we should when it comes to technology. And we need to think about the implications. What's the best case scenario? What's the worst case scenario? How do we, ensure that the best case is what's seen? And what guardrails do we put around to minimize the likelihood of that worst case scenario? In this case, 2.3 million records being publicly released. How do we intelligently, wisely implement the technology?
Yeah, I definitely see the positives. There's just someone sent me a story today, completely unrelated to us doing this on the podcast, but there was a kidnapping at a town about an hour away from me, and they said the reason they recovered it was because someone wrote down the license plate, they fed it into the APL readers, and sure enough, they found out where this car was and rescued the person. So, I mean, I see both sides. There's good in it too, but there's also the bad side where they can track you now. So there's got to be some kind of guardrails, like you said, around the use of this technology.
This guy in this truck goes to McDonald's a whole lot. The Cybertruck, Chris. Getting McRibs. You just see him blow through an intersection and a McRib wrapper coming out the window.
Target him with Burger King ads.
Yeah.
But that's this thing is, you write down license plates, and now the stalker behavior, and you start utilizing something like this to start figuring out where that license plate goes. No, there's so many different ways of utilizing this data for not good reasons as well. Other than figuring out how many McRibs that Deech eats on a weekly basis.
The answer is 0. It's Chris that is the gluttonous McRib eater.
Oh, I'm aware.
I know. This is a good time to thank our sponsor, Simple Six. Go and download the app and eat all the McDonald's you want.
And still lose weight. Okay.
And still lose weight.
I don't know how he's still losing weight, but yeah. We all have our vices.
Yeah. It's like, if we can come to some kind of middle ground, like these APLs, like you said, you could use it for a bolo, look out for fugitives, look out for stolen cars. But
be on the lookout?
It's be on the lookout. Yeah. So if you tag somebody, like, there's a Amber Alert or a Silver Alert or one of those things, like, that's a good thing. You want to be able to find these cars and track down these at-risk people. But at the same time, it's like, what's the data retention policy? 24 hours? If you don't need this data within 24 hours, then you should delete it.
Yeah. What is, like, how long can you actually hold it? Do we know?
I'm guessing either in perpetuity, maybe you export it to a SIM, maybe I'm sure this is a SaaS service. You pay for 6 months of logs and something like that, I'm sure.
Now I'm going to get lost on the, going down this rabbit hole of figuring out what the data retention is for Flock and all of the different, is it citywide, countywide, statewide? Yes. Now I'm going to have to go research all of that. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Gave Ben a good homework assignment. Yeah, because I remember, like, oh, look who decided to join.
Live from the Philippines.
Hello.
I thought it was at 8:30.
All good.
Yeah.
This is hilarious. Good to see you, Glenn.
What's going on, guys?
We're talking about Flock, the Flock, data retention for those cameras, the AI cameras that are out there. It turns out that
reading your license plates.
Standard data retention is 30 days, but it can be adjusted by local laws, local agency, police policies, and all of that, and can be held up to a year as well, depending on the jurisdiction and evidentiary needs.
In other words, for the right price, they'll keep more records for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just wrong.
Got to pay for that log
Totally
retention.
I just want to big dog somebody once and be like, no, you're out of your jurisdiction. Like, I don't know how I can do that at work, though.
What was the movie that says jurisdiction my ass? What was that one? What
It was
movie
The
was that
Matrix.
from?
I think you're thinking of
There
The
you go.
Matrix.
Yeah.
You're not giving me any of this juris Mike crap, are you?
Yeah.
You have to edit that one out, but just so Glenn's
Sorry.
not curious, it was The Matrix, number 1.
Okay. Yeah. That's the opening scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have these all over your town, Glenn?
What's that?
These automated plate reader cameras?
Yeah, they did. Well, I think I'm pretty sure they are. They're in and out of most of the neighborhoods. I like them because they can spot the car thefts, but I still don't like the idea that they're holding my information, right? So
Yeah.
it's a thing.
It's how the terrorists have won. I'm telling you.
I do have to admit though, I mean, it's kept crime down to a pretty good amount in where I live. So, and they can find them pretty quickly.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, with padlocks, with locks, and all of that stuff, the saying is that locks keep honest people honest. If you know that it's being monitored, if you know somebody's looking, if you know that these things have happened, the likelihood of somebody making the crime or hopefully it reduces it.
I think it's just a matter of time before they're like, oh, Flock 2.0 with turrets. Just start blowing stuff up. Like,
so I mean, we're talking about all the good stuff that can happen. We haven't talked about all the bad stuff that could happen, right? Like the fact that they now start shaping what time you leave, coming and going from your area, and then who's safeguarding that information? What happens if that gets into the hand?
Your phone's already doing that.
Yeah.
Good luck getting to our phone.
But we can trust Apple, right?
You can. But no, we touched on some of that right before you joined as well, Glenn. We were talking about some of the implications, whether we're monitoring Chris every time he's going to McDonald's to figure out what he ordered. Is he getting the snack wrapper? Is he getting that McRib? But you can start putting patterns together. I can figure out what days that Brian's going to the gym. It could get very stalkerish. It's not just what Big Brother's going to do with it and sit there and say, you're only allowed to leave the neighborhood between 6:15 and 6:27 because then other traffic's going to leave it. What they do with this data can be scary.
I mean, they could fix traffic. Instead, they don't. You know what I mean?
Just mass surveillance.
Yeah.
That's all they do.
See, that's the one use of AI that I really want to see is being applied to some of these traffic lights and fixing some of the traffic flows and things that make sense. But that's the best case scenario. And then what's to happen with that AI on these cameras? And do we trust it?
I know some car companies got in trouble for that. They were tracking you without your consent, and people were saying, well, if you pull up to a certain neighborhood a lot, or you go to a certain establishment a lot, then you can derive some information about the type of lifestyle you have, and that's very invasive for that. Yep. So I think the same thing. If the data falls in the wrong hands, you could potentially blackmail if you get the correct person going to the wrong place.
Why is Brian always at the bar till 2:00 in the morning? So
that's Chris.
For research.
Yeah.
Research.
ABC always be closing. Brian is always trying to close a deal.
Man, ABC always be chilling. That's what I'd be doing.
It's a physical pen test. He's conducting a water hole attack.
Funny. I like that one.
For research, of course.
Yeah. Research purposes only.
Yeah. And to their credit, I guess Flock is really trying to shut down this website, the Have I Been Flocked website. And I think they're submitting like abuse claims to, I think, Cloudflare, one of the CDNs or their hosting provider. And good on Cloudflare. They're like, this is obviously like a good productive use of our service. Like they told them to buzz off. But I think their hosting provider is giving them a little pushback on hosting this website for them. Not to get intimidated by the lawyers. All right, for our second topic, friend of the show, Victor, will be happy that Apple has selected Google's Gemini to power its Apple Intelligenc product. After 2 years of no movement and falling behind in the AI race, Apple is finally doing something about their useless assistant, Siri. Apple says that Apple Intelligenc will run on Apple devices and their private cloud compute in GCP, since that's where Gemini operates. And the company's long-standing privacy commitment is not being compromised. I think that's where we start to get a little worried because we love Apple. We love their privacy. We do not like Google because they do not respect privacy whatsoever. So we'll have to see if they live up to Apple's standards on that.
So they think Gemini is a lesser threat than ChatGPT, which is sponsored by Microsoft and Copilot?
Yes. I think they said through a thorough evaluation, they said Gemini fits what they're looking for better.
Beginning of the end for Apple,
in
guys.
In other words, one is cheaper than the other.
Go with DeepSeek.
DeepSeek.
Why not use DeepSeek?
Meanwhile, Elon's like, what about Grok, man? We could have done this really well. So,
oh, come on now. But that's his thing. I mean, it's that thing, as you said. I mean, Siri, what benefit are you getting from Siri? So I like the idea that they're finally doing something, that they're moving forward, because you're going to start seeing people who get tired of Apple not innovating, not moving forward. Yes, I said Apple not innovating anymore, and people starting to migrate away from Apple devices because they're tired of things not working. And they work on other platforms. So other than people who are just committed to the brand starting to move away.
Let's be real. Outside of set an alarm and turn off my TV, that's about the extent that I use of Siri, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Same.
Set a timer
Siri
for 5
really
minutes.
Alarm.
Yeah.
Siri is really
I
stupid.
just tell Siri to call my girlfriend, so that's all I do.
And then it asks you which one.
Well, no, she's right here. She's
girlfriend number 3.
Bro, you're brave.
Says, but I've detected that your wife is next to you, therefore I am not going to call
over there. Yeah.
I don't think Siri's smart enough to do that.
She knows that girlfriend is her in my address book. That's her nickname.
That's actually
so whenever I used to get
it's like 5D chess right there.
My mom used to get a kick out of my mom and dad would get a kick when I would say, "Hey Siri, call girlfriend," and the next you know, Siri would respond in the car, and they'd be like, "Who's your girlfriend?" And then they see that as my wife, so they get a good laugh.
I say the same thing. Call my bitch. And then it rings my dog.
And Chris
Which
starts.
one?
It
One,
rings
1,
Chris.
2, 3, 4, 5, or 6.
Oh, fuck. Oh.
6, 7, 6,
6,
7.
7.
6, 7.
Oh.
I think this is the beginning of the end for Apple. They're cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to hear
Pun
something funny?
intended.
Is, they're. I mean, in the United States, the predominant handset I can see is Apple,
Yes.
right? I mean, from an iOS standpoint, even from a PC standpoint, I've been here in Manila for a week now, and I rarely see Apple. It's a lot of Huawei, Android over here.
It's
So
because you're in what's called a developing nation, Glenn. They can't afford the $1,000 price tag that Apple carries.
that's what it is. It's crazy.
Are you living like a king
It's
right now,
crazy
man?
how much products cost here. What's that?
So are you living like a king out there?
No, I'm not a king. I'm a peasant here.
Maybe a lord.
Yeah.
Maybe not a king. Maybe lord. Lord
I'm a
Medina.
peasant. Yeah.
The thrill of
Having fun,
Manila.
nonetheless. Yeah, having fun.
How long you out
Yeah, I'm
there
just-
for?
Come back Tuesday.
Nice.
So,
Soon.
right in time for the release of this.
Yeah, don't try and rob him. He'll be there and armed.
Guns blazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping after 2 years of promises that Apple Intelligence is going to change the world, this will actually get us somewhere where we can tell Siri to do a task in an app and it can actually do it correctly. Like,
Well,
you know,
I mean, yeah, like route me in a different app other than the built-in Apple ones, right? Like
yeah.
Maps.
Yeah.
Like go into Google. I mean, go into Waze and route in Waze versus in Apple Maps, right?
You imagine Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
Siri, fire the lasers. Like,
Pew pew
Yeah,
is about what you're going to get.
yeah.
Like, I don't know if
Did
you
you-
guys
did
have
you see
seen.
the-
Have you guys seen the
did you see
demo of Grok inside of a Tesla? Like, there's someone
Is it
talking to
good?
Grok, and then it's like a 2-minute prompt. The guy says, I need to go to Home Depot, but I have to go to
Yeah.
the post office. So find me a Home Depot and find me a post office nearby. But I don't like this Home Depot, so avoid this Home Depot. Like, he gives like this big old prompt and tells it to map it to like 5 different locations, and it does it. It does it like perfect.
Wow.
It finds like the correct Home Depot, the correct post office, the supercharger that's right next door to it.
That's awesome.
Like that's the promise of Apple Intelligence they gave us, and we'll
Yeah.
see if they catch up to that.
Yeah. Did you see the meme on Trump? It was or is that you that
I
said
said
that?
it's like, how many miles did Iran today? He's like, firing missiles into Iran.
I didn't see that one. That's awesome.
That
I'll
was
just send it.
hilarious.
Almost happened.
Yeah. So I think they're just dumping their whole AI profile, or do you think they're just gonna put it to bed, use Gemini for a little bit until they can recover on their own?
I don't know. But, with all the heavy investment, Apple is like the least invested of the Mag 7 right now, and AI. I don't think they're gonna catch up. I think they're just gonna license
Yeah.
Gemini.
You think it's because they make more on their hardware than they do on that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, and like Ben said, they really haven't innovated. Well, we got a thin iPhone. That's their best product release in the last 10 years. Was a thin iPhone and these monstrous goggles that
with
no
a
one's
with a
bought.
battery pack that you can buy right away.
Yeah,
You bought some, didn't you, Chris?
I did not buy the goggles. No, I'm waiting for the actual glasses. So the Meta glasses are too basic, and the Apple goggles are too big. So I'm waiting for the V3 to come out and have something in
Yeah.
between.
Yeah.
But that'll be the holy grail, because the Meta glasses cannot interact with the Apple apps, and I think
No?
that's a big drawback for US users. Yeah, it can only interact with Facebook Messenger. It cannot interact with iMessage.
Well, geez, I wonder why.
It's a walled garden. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You would think they just build APIs around everything that they do, regardless of headset, handset, whatever, right? I mean, that was the whole point of that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And Apple had the Apple Car that never went anywhere. The goggles never went anywhere. I don't know. They're hot. Well, it became Waymo.
Waymo.
Project X became Waymo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Waymo was out way before that, though.
It was, but they used the tech from Project X to feed into Waymo.
Bro, Waymo, I took a couple Waymos this weekend. Super cheap compared to Uber. Never again.
Because you don't have to pay a driver. You don't have to pay a human. You don't have to tip.
But it was like literally like
Brian
a third.
doesn't tip. Come on.
Third of the price, though. It was actually pretty cool. I wonder if I can go to the airport from here.
Really? Was it that stark of a difference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Once don't
if you
have
do
to
Uber
use it,
Black,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, the first time you take a Waymo and you realize you get in this back seat and there's no driver up front. That's a little surreal of a feeling, but then the second, third time, oh wow, this is kind of nice.
No, you're supposed to say
other words, you saw
100
Deej while you were there.
100, and then
Deej pulls up in his Bronco and is starting to challenge all these Waymo. Nice.
Yeah, the Robotaxi too. So right now, I compared because Robotaxi and Uber and Lyft all serve my area. Right now, the prices are comparable because the Robotaxis still have to have a human supervising driver in it. But I think once they're allowed to do full autonomy like Waymo, the price will go down by at least half.
But that's the thing. You're paying for the service, not for the person who is there. So they're going to sit there and say, if the market is demanding that the prices are here, why would they discount it that much?
Well, all they're trying to do is
Buy the market.
It's a loss leader right now, and then later at some point they'll jack it back up again.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
there's a reason
so
why
easy to
Uber used to be
sell
cheap,
cars.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, they had that sweet VC backing that can subsidize everything, but now they're public and they have to be profitable.
Give them credit though, man. They work everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. There was a meme maybe 2 years ago or so where someone posted on X and said, "Hey, there's this new cool feature that Uber has where I get out of the airport, I hit a button, and then it's not a specific driver. I just walk up to the front of this line and I take the first Uber that's available." And then someone made the comments like, "Hey, look, Uber just reinvented literal taxis and they're a $120 billion company."
Yeah.
I've heard some crazy stories. I forget somebody I think it was Texas. They're like, I think it was the airport that we were at for, maybe it was at Dallas, Chris, where we went to the gym to go work out. And it's like, to get into the airport,
Dallas,
it's like an arm and a
DJOW
leg.
airport.
Yeah, it's like gated. So like hailing and Uber takes like 20 minutes or longer.
Yeah.
And that's that's a deal breaker right there from them sitting there waiting.
Yeah, and it's far. I think the place where they make them stage is really far from where they pick you up to. So you call it like at SFO, I know it's exactly 7 minutes from where they stage to the pickup point. It's exactly 7 minutes. But
I think I went to Salt Lake and you had to walk across and wait, and it was like a 10-minute wait where you just take a cab and just hop in and off to the races you go. Vegas is like that, right?
Vegas is like that too, yeah. I
But
think I
that's
talked
the
about that on Conspiracy Corner when we did our Black Hat episode, where I said Vegas is like actively trying to dissuade people from using Uber because the taxi lobby there is so strong.
Yeah. But I can't tell you the last time I actually rented a car and drove myself somewhere. I just assume I'm going to be able to get an Uber wherever I'm going, no matter where I land. I'm just assuming I can get an Uber. And if the wait for an Uber is too long, then I'll say, "Ooh, where's the taxis?"
Yeah.
I'm just so used to that at this point that I don't even think about driving myself.
Well, there's two parts to driving yourself, right? It's now I take on the risk of getting a ticket, right? Now I got to go, fill up this thing with gas unless I buy the prepaid gas option.
At
And then the second
$8
piece
a
of it,
gallon.
and then the other part of it is now I got to go park this damn thing, and and I got to go waste time trying to figure out where to park
And pay for parking. Even self park is
Yeah.
like $30
Yeah.
a day now.
Oh yeah. I mean, you go to a hotel. Did you bring a car? And it'll be an extra $25 to park it right out front. I'm like, what?
I wish it was 25. I think I've heard like $40 and $60,
Bro.
like in Hawaii or in
Yeah.
New York, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yep.
crazy.
I got hit with 50 in Scottsdale. I was like, "Are you guys nuts?" I'm like, "Where's the parking garage?" He's like, "Right across the street." I'm like, "I'm not doing like all this part." And I'm like, "Well, how much does it cost?" He's like, "It's free." I'm like, "So valet is 50, but the park there is free, and you're just gonna move the car?" No, I'm
Yeah.
not doing this.
And then Brian goes, "I'll valet."
Oh, okay,
Nothing but the best for the cloud god.
bro. Let me tell you, like, on the whole front of autonomous stuff and AI, I called to take my truck into the dealership and immediately got confronted with like the AI voice assistant. I was like, normally I just hit 0. But I was like, I'll give it a chance. So, thank you for calling the Ford dealership. How can I help you? He's like, I need to take my vehicle in some service. Like, I'm having an issue. What's the issue? I'm like, well, it's like I hit the aux 3 button. Nothing happens. So you guys call it an uplifter, but there's no power. And I checked the fuse. It's good. And I checked the power. No power going to it. So he's like, oh, I see you're calling because you have an electrical issue with with the uplifter switch number 3. It's not getting power, and you check the thing. Like, he's repeating it back to me. I'm like, whew, man, this is good. What kind of vehicle do you have? It's like, that's 2025 Ford Raptor, F-150, blah, blah, blah. Okay, do you need transportation to get back to your house while they're working on it? I'm like, yes, I do. Perfect, we'll schedule you. Going through all this stuff, I'm like, this is pretty sick, man. I'm like, oh, wow. And it's just like, what day do you want to bring the vehicle in? It gives me these things. I'm like, shoot, let's go for Tuesday, right? And it's like, all right, perfect. We're gonna get you scheduled for your 2025 F-150 Raptor R for an electrical issue. Like, it sums it all back to me. I'm like, man, the AI has figured it out. Hang up the phone. Like 2 seconds later, it's like I get a text message from the Ford dealership. It's like, your battery replacement is scheduled for Tuesday morning at 9. I'm like, oh God. And then I get another phone call. Yeah. I get a phone call from a guy. He's like, hey, calling about your oil change that you have scheduled. I'm like, okay, AI has failed us. It is not there. I'm like, how bad is it? Like that.
All right. We're halfway there.
But the fact that it was listening and then repeating it back. Oh, that was the other thing. We have you scheduled for your battery replacement on your 2025 Ford Ranger Raptor. Not even a car that I called about.
That exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
They got it all wrong.
So it's the plumbing. So the AI agent did the correct job, but when they plumbed it into the Ford ancient mainframe, then that's where things probably got screwed up.
I was hopeful, guys, but no.
Yeah.
Not
We'll
gonna
get there
happen.
someday.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
Yeah. I'm sure Tesla would have worked. One of those like forward thinking cloud first kind of companies have just
look, how much
XAI
more do
piped
you?
into them.
How much more are we asking for sponsorship from them? I think we say that name like every other pod, right? Or pretty much every pod.
Tesla.
Tesla. Yeah.
We already gave a shout out to our sponsor, Simple Six. Go download the app, get your free 30 days. Use our link.
Yeah.
All right, for our third topic, this will be our insider threat topic of the week.
Uh-oh.
A Dutch man was sentenced to 7 years in prison for a spate of crimes, which included hacking into seaports in Rotterdam and Antwerp. This genius was scooped up after Europol cracked the Sky ECC encrypted crime phone service back in 2021. I think we covered the story back then. Those were those encrypted phones that were primarily sold to criminals and say, the police can't track you. It's disable the camera, disable the GPS, and end-to-end encrypted. And they managed to hack into it and crack it. The scam worked by bribing or extorting employees of the ports to insert malicious USB devices into the port computers. That gave the hacker remote access into their systems, where he was able to facilitate the importation of over 5,000 kilograms of cocaine through the port system.
See, I mean, there's just so much to go into with this one here. And, the scam worked by bribing or extorting to insert a malicious USB device. This is what I have feared from insider threat programs for years, is you do all the right things. You put all the controls in place, but somebody pays your cleaning person $500 that when they're walking by DJ's machine to slide that USB drive in there. A carbon-based life form inserting one device into the other and usurping all of your controls. And
Well, I mean, you do have the USB control still.
you
for
do,
devices, right?
and you shouldn't allow unknown,
Yeah.
unmanaged. I mean, why even allow USB mass storage devices to be connected? Whether it's a hard drive, whether it's a USB memory drive, anything like that. Why are they even being allowed to be plugged in? If they are plugged in, are you detecting? Are you creating an alert? There are other things that you could do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. And disable all those and don't. don't.
Yeah. No, but you're right, though. I mean, I think the whole point here is there's still that last mile of someone having to being able to physically access the device itself, right? That's the threat that no one really thinks about. So,
well, there's that piece of it. So you infect the device, but then what after that? Why didn't it catch the command and control? Why didn't it catch the lateral movement? Why didn't it see that? This computer, which should not be accessing importation records, why are they accessing importation records?
Why do cucumbers taste better pickled?
Outbound SSH tunnels are being created from this machine. It used to upload, 5 meg a day. All of a sudden, it just uploaded 5 gigabytes, all outbound. It's going to a weird country now, or a system. Yeah, there are still other ways of detecting.
Yeah.
And, but again, when you are able to pay a person a few $100s to even try doing the likelihood of it being successful, 50-50, you think?
I think your number just goes up. A couple $100, couple thousand. Yeah.
Well, if you only make 50 cents a day, then yeah, $500 is a lot.
Whoa.
Yes.
That's a gold mine, right? So.
Yep.
And then I think the other piece of it, you got the law, you got the order. The other is you put somebody, you make an example of them. You find out who inserted this USB device in, and you make an example of them to dissuade
Firing
future
squad
people from doing that.
Firing squad, public execution. What?
Or you go with a Singapore style and you
cane them.
You do the caning.
Yeah.
Oh. Bro, the worst thing I saw, it was somewhere in Europe. It's like a torture house, and they had like this seahorse thing, but it wasn't like flat. It was like pointy, like sharp wood. And what they would do is they would take prisoners and strap them up by their arms, and then have them sit like cross-legged, and then just enough weight to where they're what's up with the balloons?
Brian, celebrating with the balloons.
Yeah. The weight that would just like sit like right in between their legs the entire time, and they put weights on their legs to like make them bleed out, just like horrifying pain.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I think it's called a Judas stool, a Judas chair.
Okay, pervert.
Ooh.
Why do you know this?
Look it up.
Well, I'm still stuck with the Singaporean caning because as I was graduating high school, there was that case where that college kid was caned in Singapore for
Mike
vandalism.
Fay. His name was Mike Fay. We
Mike
talked about
Fay,
that.
yes.
Yeah. Not to be confused with the other Mike Fays that
Started
are out
Island.
there. Yeah.
There you go. Is that it, Brian?
Let's see here. Zoom in.
No, don't.
No,
zoom
not
in on
pointy.
this.
No, it was straight across. It wasn't inserting. You were just sitting on it.
Oh.
You're sitting on top of that?
I mean, in that scenario, that one is, yeah. But the one I saw was not. I was like, damn, man, they were savages back then.
They would get you to confess which.
If I just saw that, I'm like, what do you guys want to know?
What do you want to know? Glenn did it. Glenn Medina, Medina.
But like going back to like insider threats and all that stuff, it comes down to identity, data, and access. It just boils down to that. You understand all those things, you should be fine. If you have safeguarding controls around it, you should be fine. Unless it's a nation state, then it can get a little bit more murky, but you shouldn't have an SSH tunnel going out. You shouldn't be, you know what I mean? Like, it's trivial.
That's
but it's
trivial. This guy was
all those controls,
trafficking cocaine, not nation state stuff. It should have been caught.
But you have to have a skilled person monitoring those logs. We talked about the stupid license plates earlier as well, but if no one's ever looking at those logs, the data is not useful.
Well, do you need that now, or can you leverage AI to go look at those logs and look at the anomalies, right? And look at the data
utilizing
patterns.
Technology, yes, but somebody or something to utilize that data. Not knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Well, knowledge isn't power if you're not actually taking any action with it.
It's all getting fed into Palantir. Because Palantir has all their data now. They're figuring out who's smuggling drugs and who's running drugs and who's stealing cars.
So they know every time that Brian's coming back from a country or coming back from overseas, all the fruit that he's importing with him, the apples and bananas that he's bringing back.
Dragon fruit.
Oh, dragon fruit. Oh.
Durian fruit.
Ugh, that's disgusting.
All right, Glenn's holding his phone, so I know his arm must be getting tired. So for
That's all good.
Last
It's
topic,
resting on my knee.
it'll
It's
be
all
a
good.
rotating topic every week. This week we're going to talk about what's your most stubborn business boycott. And I've got a few here, but I'll open with my first one. And I guess I have to read a disclaimer that says the company I'm mentioning here it's my opinion alone, that this is a scumbag company. It's nobody else's opinion. It's just mine. But I think is not a good company to do business with.
Can we say that? Can we say that on should we say that on the pod publicly?
I read the disclaimer, Glenn.
Okay.
All right. Well, since Glenn might be, I'll bleep that out, and I'll say a bank that is headquartered here in is a company that I will not do business with. Well, sort of yes and no, and a little bit of a backstory here. So I mean, I've read things like this particular bank that's headquartered here in has done to some of their customers, like they have an overdraft quote. They call it quote overdraft protection. So if you don't have enough money in your checking account, but you have a savings account, and you overdraft your checking account, they'll pull from your savings account, so you don't get a not sufficient fund fee on that. But the bank will charge you an overdraft fee. It's $35, and they structure it in such a way that, like, if I make 3 purchases in a day, let's say I buy some groceries for $50, and then I buy like a candy bar somewhere else for $1, and I buy something else for like $2. Bank, even though all transactions happen on the same day, they will process the most expensive one first to drain your checking account. So the other 2 smaller ones will get hit with the overdraft fee. And they claim that's even by design too. It's not by design to maximize profit. No, Glenn. They do that because they feel that the most expensive charge is probably more important. So they want to process that first and not have that bounce.
Dirty bastards.
Yeah. So that's one thing they do. And then the other thing is I opened a credit card with this bank that's headquartered here in, and I'm one of those credit card points guys. So I open the credit cards, I have a number of credit cards. I just happened to miss a payment on this credit card, which is not a huge deal. I've missed it before. I just call the company and say, hey, sorry, I missed it. I'm normally on time, but I missed it this 1 month. Can you do me a solid and take off the late fee, take off the interest charge? And 100% of the time they always do it. I'm not a habitual misser, and I have good credit, and I've been a long-standing customer. For some reason, just adamantly refuse to do it. So first of all, it's an automated system. Their decision is final, and there's no appeals process to that. So I called, I read online, I tried all the tricks. No one would. I couldn't get them to reverse this interest charge on here. So I'm like, all right, well, 2 can play that game. So then what I did was maybe I'm getting petty at this point, and maybe I'm giving more business than they should. So what I did was I opened a checking account. I got a bonus that was way more than the interest charge that they charged me. And now I'm just keeping the minimum required in that account to get free checking. And they have to mail me a statement every month, which costs them $5 a month. So I'll just keep that going as long as I can. So I can be quite petty.
So
I love to. I used to. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Go ahead, Brian.
No, you first.
Yeah. I love it when I get these credit card applications and you get free postage to mail it back.
Yep.
So what I do is I rip up one and I put it into the other. Like I'll cross banks and I'll just send them the shredded pieces of paper back, and I'll stuff it as much as I can, just so they get charged on it. So yeah, I've done that just because it irritates me that they're sending me stuff in the mail.
See,
Yeah, so actually
and if they got that no postage required as long as you mail it in the U.S.,
Yeah.
you know that they're going to get charged on however much you stuff in there.
And if you
Petty.
if you stuff it wider than a normal envelope should be, they have to pay the difference in that postage.
The package
So
rate.
yeah.
Some guy did that a while ago where because if you look it up, like, when you go to Hawaii, they tout like, oh yeah, you can literally mail a coconut. Just put this stamp on a coconut. The post office will process a coconut. So some guy got in his head that said, okay, well, if the post office accept this, what else will they accept? So he took the prepaid envelopes, taped it onto like a used tire, brought it to the post office, and just mailed these tires to the bank. Yeah, he did this like for a while, and then finally I think he put his actual name and return address on it, and then they finally stopped sending him these unsolicited credit card
Nice
applications.
Genius.
I gotta go find that story, but I
Got to make it hurt enough, and
I
and they
got a
learn
couple
lesson.
used tires. I got a couple used tires I need to get rid of. So
So, Chris, I firsthand experienced that bank doing that to me with the overdraft stuff back when I was a kid. And I just kind of thought it was like standard business practice across all banks. And so when the kids were like growing up, I was like, you need to keep a minimum, $25 in your account. That way you never get hit with it, blah, blah, blah. And like to this day, the kids are like, yeah, that never happens. It just gets overdrafted. They don't do anything to me. There's no penalties. Like it will pull money from savings. It's no big deal. Or if I don't have money, the card just doesn't work. I'm like, but it's a different bank though. So
yeah.
You just don't understand.
I'm over here boomering
I
it.
get it. Oh.
All right. I got off my soapbox. I'll yield the floor to one of you three if you have any boycott stories.
Well, I don't boycott a particular, but what I'm going to say is if I figure out a grocery store in particular, only uses self-checkouts, I've heard enough horror stories and read enough that if you forget to scan an item or an item scans incorrectly, you're now having charges brought against you for shoplifting. And I'm like, but there was no way for me not to go through, and I scanned it. I put it across, it beeped. I put it in the bag. Your scale accepted it. So I don't need that stress and anxiety. So if I can't get a human to work with me where I can check out, I'm not going to frequent and give my business to that store.
I totally agree. Yeah.
That's total BS. There is again, we won't name drop stuff because I think it probably hurt our company in the long run. But there's we'll call it a retailer that's out there, and I have a friend that's like, if so and so doesn't have it, I don't want it. And my thinking on it is like, if they have it, I definitely don't want it, and I do not shop there mainly because they keep a majority of their people like on like less than full time, and then these people are drawing benefits. Because they can't live because that company won't give them a full-time job. Like it's, I don't know, it's downright
fully
criminal.
dependent on government services to subsidize them.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I avoid that place like the plague.
It's so cheap.
That's fine. Now
And I'm like you, Ben. If I have to go to a kiosk to order my food, like inside of a fast food chain, it's like, what is going on here? Like just... Yeah. Or the good one is, hey, you want to order on your app before you go through the drive-through so you can give them the code. I'm like, I'm driving right now. How the hell am I going to order food on an app as I'm heading to the drive-through?
What's your wife's got
once
to do?
Siri gets smarter, you'll be able to do
Once
that.
Siri gets smarter.
10 McRibs, stat.
Yeah.
Extra pickles.
Extra
Add
glizzies.
napkins to the bag.
Yeah.
We gotta add the simple 6 feature requests is, as you see what you want at McDonald's or at Taco Bell, it automatically puts it into your app for you and orders it there. That would be a cool feature request.
Yeah, it's okay. Like if you detect me driving towards any directionally towards the Taco Bell, here's my usual order for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just prompts you and says, "Would you like your usual order, sir?"
Yeah.
Why, yes, I would.
I had a coworker that boycotted a certain shoe brand, and his reason was they released an ad campaign that he thought was really stupid. So he's just like, I'm just not going to buy this company shoes anymore.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
I thought I was petty, but yeah, okay.
I see that. I mean, these are my, like, there's certain gas stations that I won't go to simply because of what I believe in is their ability to process or make fuel that's safe, or not safe but clean, or the additives that they use. I mean, there's certain clothing lines that I don't want to use because I think the owners are jerks, right? So I prefer not to give them money. Yeah. It's woo woo lemon, Brian. It's woo woo lemon.
Woo-woo.
Or
and
that's the
certain
thing.
ice cream brands that are pretty vocal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And certain airlines, definitely certain airlines.
I was going with the airlines too.
I'm not.
Yes.
I'm not flying them. Yeah.
Yeah, I got mad at an airline a little while ago, but it's so hard. Like, if they're a big four, like, you can't avoid it, unfortunately. Like, I fly out of San Francisco, which I get to pick which airline I do, but you still can't avoid it. Like, if I have to go to a certain destination, well, there's only one airline that goes there because they're headquartered there. That's their hub.
Goes there. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'd be going to the no-name airport right next to it, or I'd be flying out at like 4 a.m. So it's really hard to boycott, the big four airlines here.
There's definitely certain car manufacturers I prefer not to drive their vehicles. So I don't know why. Well, there are some brands out of Korea that I don't like. When I was younger, I had issues with them even just driving down the road. I guess in their early ages, but I guess now they're better, and they don't. But you can still steal them pretty easily, from what I understand.
Yeah. Okay, we got it.
There's certain years,
and they've made it more difficult for him to steal, so he doesn't like them anymore.
Yeah, they added a software update. Yeah, that did play into my decision when before I got the Tesla, I bought an American-made car, and I chose to go with a brand that did not take a bailout, the one American brand that did not take a bailout, and that was part of the reason for, other than it being a good car.
I too, and I bought their stock, which is tanked. I think my profit per share is $1.16 right now, and I've held it for like 10 years.
At least it's profitable.
Barely though.
Better than my Peloton stock, I'll tell you
Brian.
that.
Better than going the other way. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's one company. I wish I forget what happened. I sold some stock, and then I had I could transfer so much money. I had a little bit of money left over. I don't know, we'll call it $200. So I bought stock in this particular company. I was like, oh, I think they'll probably do well. That stock is up like 3,600% since I bought it. I was just like, oh, I wish I would have just not transferred the money out and bought all of that. Like, this wild.
Yeah.
It wasn't a tech company.
I wish I had bought NVIDIA back in the day.
Yeah, we all did.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, we continue to get great comments about our dad joke of the week.
Dad joke of the week.
This week, our guest Ben is up.
Oh, nice. All right. So as we're starting a new year here, I've started to look at this calendar, this desktop calendar I keep on my desk. But my wife was in here, and I told her that I'm a bit afraid for this calendar. And she goes, "Why? What is wrong with your calendar?" And I look at her and said, "Because its days are numbered."
All right.
Wow.
You saw that one coming, Brian. I get it.
I literally have a calendar right here. It's called the Big Ass Calendar. It's all 12 months on there.
Like it. See?
Yeah.
There you go.
Do you
Plan out your
write
year.
on it?
You write on it.
Yeah.
Like, I ran out of some stickers, but basically the concept is that you have the entire month, and then it's color coded, so I can see what days I'm traveling, which days I'm going to work from home, and stuff like that. It's actually pretty nice.
Yeah. And it's easy for me to write it all down so my kids can walk in and see when I'm traveling, where I'm traveling. So if there's anything going on, yeah. Easy visual.
Genius.
It's actually called the Big Ass Calendar, by the way. It's like $50, I think.
Is it a board or is it plastic?
Laminate,
on the wall? Laminate.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
nice.
dry erase.
Yep.
Yeah.
Want to do your backup joke, Ben? I see you wrote 2 down here.
Oh, I always put 2, so absolutely. So, all right, Brian,
Yes.
this one's for you.
Yes.
Always cheesy ones are for you. What do you call a factory that makes okay products?
Ooh, I actually had something, but I can't say it. Go on.
A satisfactory.
Oh God. Okay.
Wasn't as good as you thought, huh?
Wah, wah, wah.
All right, let's go.
Better than ransomware. Come on, man. Let's go.
Well, he did set the bar pretty low.
Yeah.
There's that. All right, to wrap things up, Flock is unintentionally creating a public database of license plates. Apple picked Gemini to power Siri. A hacker was sentenced for hacking a port to traffic drugs. And boycott beep. I guess I have to bleep out all the brand names there. I can't have an opinion anymore, I guess. That's all I have for this week. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Find us on LinkedIn. Links will be in the description. Follow us on Instagram at PEBCAK Podcast. Thank you to our listeners and subscribers. Rate us 5 stars on iTunes Store and Spotify and left us a review. We appreciate you all spreading the word to help grow the show. The best way to find us is to search for the PEBCAK Podcast in your favorite podcast listening app. My co-host Brian Nietzsche Medina and our guest Ben Coral. I'm Chris Louie. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all next weekend. As always, have a nice day.
Bye, Felicia.
Have a nice day.